On this episode of Dreamin and Drivin, we got to link up with the highly underrated and extremely gifted Mountos, a rapper from West Covina who's been on a consistent grind as he climbs his way to the top. Since his early attempts at music, Mountos has stood out as an artist that never had to compromise lyricism to keep his music both catchy and turnt. We are grateful to get the chance to roll with him and see what's new for this hidden gem in the rap game.
You made it! Yes! Oh man, I'm so happy to see you. Give me that. Boom. Oh man. We're actually on the way right now to go see Mountos. You know Mountos, the West Covina rapper. Yeah. He told us we can pull up to his local park, and ask him some questions, talk about some dreams and everything like that. So, you wanna ride? I got the car charging right here. It should be good to go. You know what I'm saying? You ready? Let's do it. We out! Boom! Bro, chilling, Fimo. Mountos, Jimmy. Love. Yeah. Good, bro. Trying to hop in? Let's get it. What's good with you, dog?
How's it going?
Chilling. Beautiful day. Love, bro. I mean, first and foremost, bro, I want to just say, I appreciate you coming out here, Brody. Your spot is beautiful, dog.
Damn, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is home, hometown, home city. So like I said, thank you for, pulling up and showing love and coming out here doing this interview. I appreciate it.
Bro, of course, man. So yeah, bro, we can get down to it, bro. But I mean, first things first, you want to get in the driver's seat?
Yeah, I'm with it.
Love, let's get it.
Clean.
All right, man. So talk to me, bro. You said this is a park where you kind of grew up, man. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so right now we're at Del Norte Park, and it's I guess you could say kind of where I was brought up. So I played baseball here from the ages of 7 to 12. I met some of my closest homies here who are still my homies to this day. And I don't know, just a lot of good memories. I think I got 4 championships here,
Wow,
yeah, 100%. I'm a champion, born and raised Little League. But yeah, I mean, it was clean, just non-stop good memories. I learned a lot of things. I learned how to win. I learned how to lose here.
Yeah.
And it's just it'll always be a staple and just kind of a place that I'll always remember in my life, and then also for my homies too. A lot of people from the city kind of grew up here, and I met a lot of good people here. So beautiful spot. I figured it'd be a good spot to start it out at.
For sure.
Yeah. So I mean, West Covina is a city where there's nice neighborhoods. There's neighborhoods that aren't as nice.
Yeah.
And, there's apartments, and so I don't know. I felt like it was a really good place to grow up, just because I got a lot of different experiences. And so with a lot of good different people, there's a high school. I went to West Covina High School, which we could swing by, but there's another high school kind of a little bit on the other side called South Hills, and that's kind of where all the richer kids went.
Okay.
And then there's also a lot of different stuff. So it's a nice spot though. I wouldn't really want to grow up nowhere else. It's a perfect spot to grow up right here.
That's live, bro. And West Covina High School, man. I know that you did a lot of shows locally. I mean, have you done? I think you did a show in West Covina as well, right?
Yeah, so I did 2 shows back at the high school. They did an event called West Coachella, and so it was kind of based off of Coachella. They wanted to do just a little low scale, just sports or not sports. I mean, arts and music festival.
Oh, that's clean.
And so it was clean, and I got the chance to perform there twice, and it was kind of my first 2 performances. So I learned a lot through them. And it was cool because the people there I knew, and they were my crowd, so they were rocking with the music, so it was a good way to get my first 2 performances in.
That's what's up, man. You've been dropping music since 2016?
Yes, sir. I want to say June 30th, 2016. I dropped my first song.
Wow, man. How do you think the growth has been since then, especially from the first couple of shows? I'm sure everybody's first show is it's nervous, it's nerve-wracking, but how do you feel now on stage? How do you feel now with your music?
I feel the main thing, and you could hear it in the music itself, is just the confidence. When I first started making music, I just kind of started making it. So my homies were making beats on their phones, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. Let me try it out. I started making beats on my phone.
Okay.
Then eventually I upgraded to FL Studio, and it just stuck. And so I was making beats on FL Studio. And then over time, I was like, I have these beats. Nobody's going to rap on them. Let me just try writing and rapping on them. So I was like, all right, let's get it done. So that was what stuck. And I still produce every now and then, but the writing aspect of it was what really stuck, and I've just kind of worked on it every single day since then and kept improving, and now I feel like it's amazing. You could go back and listen to a lot of my old songs and hear the progression, and that's like the number one thing I'd like to pride myself on, is just, you know, I didn't sound too good at the beginning, but now you listen to the songs and it's like they're nice. Like, not to toot my own horn, but there's some nice songs on there, and even, you know, the unreleased stuff is about to be crazy too. So.
When do you think you first started, like, you heard your song, you're like, that shit sounds good, like, I'm doing that shit?
Probably, well, so like number one thing is like always I always believe, like, even when I was making those songs, I thought it was amazing. I was like, this is the most amazing song, like, of all time. I was like, this is the best song ever.
This is golden.
And then it wasn't until after, like, I was like, damn, like, you know what, I was a little bit tripping, but you need that. You need that kind of just that ability to just see through it. But I would say 2018, I really started picking it up and getting a lot better with my voice, because I feel like my writing was always there. It was a little corny at times, but my voice was like the number one thing that I just needed to find, like, the comfort zone, something to sit in, something that sounded like me. And so I'd say around 2018, but was like when it really started getting good. And then 2020, like, I feel like my stuff was like radio ready. Like, I feel like my stuff is something you could hear on the radio, and I do all my own mixing, all my own mastering. I record myself, so it's, you know, it's all self-made. And I've been working with producers, and every now and then I'll produce one too, but you know, it's all kind of, I picked up things along the way, so it's a blessing. I love it.
Yeah, so like radio ready, man. Like, tell me about your dreams. Like, you know, what you want with this in general, bro. Like, what's your dreams, bro?
Yeah. So with this music, my main goal that I have with it is I just want people to hear the music, however that needs to happen. Whether it's me signing a record deal or me just continuing to stay independent, push music out. The main thing is I just want people to hear the music, hear the message, and I want to inspire people. I feel like a lot of music, you know, it's good to just have music that you could just listen to, that you could party to, that you could turn up. I want to make music like that too, but I feel like the majority of my discography, I want it to have an impact. I want it to, you know, it doesn't have to be just upfront always telling you about how to live your life, whatever, but just something that people could relate to, something that people pick up and, you know, could change lives. And obviously with that, as people, you know, more people get to hear the music, the money will start to come in too. That'll be nice. Like, I just want to make sure that nobody in my family or anybody that I love, just period, has to worry about money, because I feel like money's a beautiful thing, and it's also not an evil thing, but it's the thing that causes a lot of problems for a lot of people. And so if I'm able to provide, you know, for everybody that I love, where they could chase their own dreams and they could chase their own goals without having to worry about money and finances, like, that'd be beautiful. That'd be amazing.
Bro, I feel that. That's 100, bro. Well, speaking about family, man, like, in your music, you speak a lot about, like, your parents and, you know, them working hard, bro. And something I wanted to ask you, like, how does family, like, what's family mean to you? And, you know, how does that affect, you know, just you as a person? How does that affect, like, your mental health and, you know, wanting to provide for them? Like, how is that, bro?
Yeah, so my family, I'll always say it, like, my mom and my dad, I feel like they've done an amazing job with me. Like, I don't know, I've grown up, you know, with friends who've had parents who may not, you know, just certain situations, but it always makes me grateful that my parents, you know, were there. They, you know, stayed together. I'm blessed that they were able to stay together and have a good relationship, and that, you know, came off on me, and they were able to, you know, shower me with a lot of love and a lot of things that they taught me. And the number one thing that, you know, I feel like my dad taught me the most was just the hard work. He's a construction worker, so he gets up every day, 4 o'clock. Right now, I think he's getting up at 2:30 to get to work at 4. And he's been doing it, you know, for almost, I think he's coming up on his 30th year or something like that. So he's just always pushed that onto me, like, that work ethic. Like, you gotta work for what you want, and you gotta go and get it. And I feel like, honestly, to a certain extent, you know, it lives in the blood. But also, like, when I was 10, like, when I turned 10, he had me out there cutting the grass. Had me out there. He was like, all right, here's a lawnmower. He fired the gardeners, or not fired them, but told them, like, we weren't going to need them no more. And then I started hopping in right there behind the lawnmower, and even just doing, you know, stuff around the house, picking up. So I'm forever grateful that he instilled me with, like, those values of hard work. And on the other side, I feel like my mom just, like, gave me love, like, you know, genuinely, to where I haven't had to seek it out from external or, like, other sources. Like, she just gave me love. She gave me intelligence too. She's really smart, and she's really, you know, hip around things. And I don't know, it's just my family, I'm really tight with them, and you know, they mean the world to me. And I feel like often, you know, like even to music, like I feel like my family is even above the music in terms of importance. So I don't know, I just want to make sure that they're taken care of, and my brother and sister could chase their goals and chase their dreams. They're you know, they're smooth too. My brother plays basketball, my sister's she plays volleyball, and she also does like sewing, and she's into fashion and stuff like that. So I just want, you know, the whole family to succeed, and I feel like we've been put in a good position to do that. So we just got to make it happen right now.
Oh, and I know, like, just, you know, the desire to provide for your loved ones, man, like, it can take a toll on a lot of people. You know what I mean, bro? So like, how does it take a toll on you? Like, just that desire to say, hey, like, yo, I got my family, I got a little brother, little sister. You know, I want to give them the world. Like, how do you kind of cope with that, bro?
Yeah, to me, the number one feeling is just, you know, the feeling of pressure. And for a lot of people, and myself included, it gets, you know, it could get overwhelming. And so one thing that has kind of helped me, number one, is the music itself. Like, even like, it's kind of counterintuitive, because building the music career causes, you know, pressure and having to, you know, provide for your family. But then also the music for me is like where I really let stuff out. Like, that's why I make the kind of music that I do. It's kind of just like a therapy session in the studio. I hear the beats, and the beats give me like just the inspiration, the vibe, and I just go ahead and, you know, start talking about it. And so to me, that's a big player. But also, I've spent a lot of time in my life just going outside, going on hikes, spending a lot of time in the outdoors, and I found that that's a big part of it too. Just stepping away, being able to step away from things. And even if you're in the middle of something, like if you're in a house and you can't necessarily step away, just being able to step away mentally, whatever it is. Like for me, how it's music. For other people, it could be listening to music. For some people, it could just be going outside, whatever. Just being able to step away from situations and then come back to them later. Because when you're in the situation, you don't really see it for what it is. Clearly, you get caught up in it. You get more anxious than you need to be. You get more stressed out than you need to be. And things just seem higher stakes. Like, it's like, you know, everything seems like a life and death decision, even if it's nothing, you know, too big. And that's just how we've evolved. You know, we've had to be in those circumstances. So, like I said, those two are pretty big for me. The music itself, being able to vent, having an outlet to let emotions out, and then having a way to just clear your head and come back at other perspectives and look at them a little bit differently.
You know, you coming from West Covina, right? And, you know, there's people growing up, you know, things keep going, it's a cycle, and there's little kids now who have similar dreams as you. You know, like, if you had the chance to just kind of tell one of those little kids, like, you know, anything to kind of motivate them and encourage them, you know, maybe like seeing you in them, what would be something you would probably say?
Yeah, the main thing that I would do is to try a lot of different things. I would say to just try a lot of different things. Try as much as you want to do, and if you don't, because a lot of it has to just do with finding what you want to do. Like you know, you could have dreams to want to do stuff, but you got to really know what you want to do. Like really, really hone in on it, and you can only find that out by experimenting and finding what it is that you want to do. So once you have that locked down, to me, you just got to go for it, because people are going to tell you, there's going to be a million excuses and reasons to not go for it. There's going to be a million. You could come up with their own. People could come up with their own. You could find them. You could just, if you want to look for those excuses, you can find them.
You'll find them. They're there.
And so you just have to push past that and realize that everything that you're going to get out, everything that you want, has to come from work that you put in. Because at the end of the day, there are some people who get really lucky and get placed in amazing opportunities, and they have a chance, you know, early on to make it work. But I'd say for the majority of people, it's not like that. And there's a lot of successful people who have, I'd say more successful people who have become successful as a result of good values, good habits, good taking care of business, as opposed to people who are just, you know, stumbled upon success. I think it's harder to stumble upon success than actually working for it. So I would say to just stay locked in and stay focused, and once you know what you want to do, just don't let nobody tell you the opposite. You know, stay focused on it and keep that vision straight.
That's love. That's good advice, bro, for real.
And then this right here is the famous Cameron Park. Okay. After school is where all the fights would go down. So you can pull up right here And this will be posted up smoking. I never smoked or drank or did nothing in high school, but you know, it would be fights right there. It was, you know, active. And then they also had the rec in there, so you'd go and play ping pong, basketball, whatever.
What's coming up, bro? What's coming up?
In terms of like drops and stuff, yeah. So I got a lot planned out. So I got right now mostly singles, and just putting those out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. To me, this is like my favorite music that I've ever made for sure. And I feel like a lot of the songs are gonna be a good mix of like kind of how, you know, just that something that's, you know, you could learn from, that has wisdom in it, that has lyrical content, but also just vibes and good vibes and energy and songs that I think are gonna resonate with people. So I got a really good positive outlook on them. I'm trying to get a lot more visuals done, a lot of music videos, push them out. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm just excited right now, more than anything, just super excited.
Yes, sir. How do you feel about features, man? I know you got some features, like some songs that got features already, but how do you feel about them in general?
Yeah, so features, I haven't had too many features like in my track list. Like if you go through all the songs, one of the ones that has always, you know, he's been one of the only features I'm, at least from the beginning too, was Isaiah. As I mentioned, he's from the city. We played baseball when we were 10 years old, and so we got a good relationship and really good music chemistry. And so that's going really smooth. But also recently I've got into work with Alize, who's on this song, and she has a beautiful voice, and she's from the city also. She goes crazy, and I just can't wait to work with her. And I actually have a song coming out with her soon called True, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, sir.
But I'm hyped. Like she's really raw in what she does, and she has a beautiful voice, and I'm excited to see what she does and also to work with her more. So I want to, you know, just collab more with people, because music's such a just creative process, and especially when I started making music, it was all mostly just me. Like it's me in a room, and I have to dictate the vibe. I got to come up with the vibe. You got to create it, and you know, it's cool, and I feel like you have to be able to do that. But also, it's good to work and bounce ideas off of other people. You get different things that you wouldn't normally do, or wouldn't normally, you know, attack a song a certain way, and you could switch it up for that song. Like I got a song out right now, 40s and Shorties, off of a tape for a little group that we're just putting on music called Project Dorm Room, and it's a raw song. It's clean. It's some real West Coast vibes, and it's smooth. And you know, I wouldn't have probably made that song unless I was working with other people. So you know, let other people bring the best out of you. That's the way I see it.
For sure. All right, bro. So from what I know, you were a college student. You attended college, and you know, I respect it a lot. So I just wanted to know, like, how did college shape you? And like me, I know I personally learned a lot in college. So for you, like, what do you have to say to somebody who probably is on the fence about going to college? And you know, how did college kind of just shape you as a person?
Yeah. So the number one like thing that I could say is, in one of my classes that I was in college, and this kind of defines, you know, an aspect of it, at least the academic aspect. One of my professors told me, he actually told me that he's like, you're gonna get dumber in college. Like, you're not gonna be as good of a writer, you're not gonna be as good at math, you're not gonna be as good at all these things. But what you are gonna be good at is just college. The main thing that I saw college as was an experience. And both school, obviously studying, you learn different ways to study. I had to study different in college than I had to in high school. I didn't really study too much in high school, but just different approaches. But for me, number one was just like networking and the ability to be around so many people like that. Like one person that I met at college was Dom, and he goes by Digital Dom, and he's a videographer, and we have a really cool relationship, and I'm gonna be working with him in the future on a lot of stuff. But we just really built a cool relationship, and I got to meet him, and there's literally so many, like a long list of people that I met like that, and that I have developed relationships with, and that I'm gonna continue like, you know, just keeping it cool with. And to me, that's one of like the main things about college is, if you're going just to get the piece of paper and to go into a job because you have to, obviously you just got to get it done. But if you're just going just because you don't really know what you want to do, I would say there is better, you know, things, there's better alternatives. But if you're going with the mentality of just, you want to get the degree, you want to have the paper, you want to get it done, obviously, but you also just want to make the most of it. Like, go in with the best intentions, just trying to learn as much as you can, not just from school. Like, just don't get clouded by, oh, I just gotta focus on school. Because even if you go to college and you just spend the entire time studying, you're gonna know a lot. You may not even know like as much as you need to for your job. Because even right now, if I were to go to a job, I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot of different things, but day one going on a job, I wouldn't be ready. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know, like, I would have no clue. I have the basic skills, but it's like, I feel like it's more than just the education. Like, if you're just going for the education, obviously, if you're going to be a doctor or you want to be an engineer or whatever, you got to get it done. But there's so much more to it. And just like, for me, the main thing was like, even though school was just, it was cool, I got it done, but it was just the experience, like just learning and seeing life in a different light too. Like, because when I was out there, it was a rich private school, so a lot of white people. I haven't lived with a lot of white people. Out here it's mostly Asian and Mexican, mostly raza, and then Asians are thrown in, and then you have sprinkling of everybody else. But out there it was like my first time really spending time with a lot of white people and a lot of wealthy people also. And so it was a growing experience. And people of all types of people are interesting, are beautiful, are amazing. And so it taught me just to have a broader view of the world. And I would say to go to college, like I would say obviously if you got to get your JC done, you got to get that done, take care of it, and then graduate. But I would say to go to a college outside of your hometown, because I think leaving home is the most important part about college, even because that's when you really get to grow. That's when you really get to prosper, and you see how other places work. It's just like, that's how I see it.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? You want to like say, get off your chest, bro? Anything at all, bro?
Just be on the lookout. Like, a lot of stuff coming your way. I know I said it a lot, but I'm ready. Like right now, more than ever, I've been inspired. I've been just ready to take things to the next level and give you all this music and take things serious and hopefully make y'all proud and put out music that I enjoy and that I think y'all will enjoy too. And so yeah, just be ready. Like, expect big things. Expect heat. Like, that's the number one thing. Just expect heat.
Bro, I appreciate it, bro.
All right. Good looks, good talks, good combo.
To the top. To the top. That's right.
You want to hear something unreleased?
Bro, let's
I can
get it.
connect.